Cybersecurity and a beer, man.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So we're here at Dust Bowl, one of my favorite spots, man.
Thanks for having our beer. We like that.
Yeah,
Which one
so-
are you having? I think that's a Peace, Love, and Haze. All right. There we
There
go.
you go.
Okay.
All right. Your name? How long you been here?
So my name is Stratton. I'm the director of taproom operations for Dust Bowl. So I've been with the company now for 7 or 8 years, something like that.
Wow, and you guys are celebrating your 15th anniversary.
Yes, 15th anniversary was May 18th was our big celebration day, but we have a triple dry hop therapist that is our anniversary beer that we still have a little bit left of. But yeah.
All right, man, I'm going to have some of that.
Yeah.
I love your beer. I love your place, man. Come here with the family all the time. So if you guys are ever in Livermore, California, Dust Bowl, right? But you guys have a couple of different locations.
Yes, this is actually our 4th location. We have our big brewery in Turlock. It's on like 2.5 acres. It's a monstrosity. It's where we make all the beer.
Okay.
We opened in Monterey about 5 years ago, something like that. Opened up in Elk Grove, which is just south of Sacramento 3 years ago. And we're literally 2 days away from our 1-year anniversary here.
Nice. Are you guys going to have a big celebration here too?
Probably be coming more mid-July, but it'll be close to a year.
Awesome, man. It's a great spot. Love it. You can bring dogs. You can bring your family. You can bring a lot of different things here. You have music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys know I've been here a couple of times, right?
Yep. Live music on Thursday nights and Sundays. We pride ourselves on being family friendly. And if you're brewing in California, you have to be dog friendly.
So your favorite beer?
Oh, I'll answer that 2 ways. My favorite beer we've ever made is we did a maple coffee version of our Black Blizzard, which is a Russian Imperial Stout that we make every year. And that was awesome. I love a dark, sweet, strong beer in the winter. But then if you're saying a beer that's always available, it would be the variation on the beer you're having now, which is Peace Love. We make a Peach Love and Haze.
Nice.
And so it's a lot of peach notes when you smell it, but not quite as much when you drink it. So it's not overpowering. It's just, I love peaches. So
Nice. What about your taco truck?
Oh, Taco Truck, that's kind of that is technically now our 2nd best-selling beer. Peace Love has actually surpassed it.
Okay.
The Haze Craze is still going, but the Taco Truck, just a great barbecue beer. It's exactly what it sounds like. You'd expect to see it at a food truck while you're barbecuing at the beach. And have a couple of them, a golfing beer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So can people so if they're not in California or in Livermore, anywhere near your locations, can they get the beer anywhere else? Tell them where they can get it.
DustBowlBrewing.com. We can ship all across the states, so you can order anywhere that you want. It's all of our beers that are available on there, and we actually just started doing moonshine as well. That we can only ship in California.
Moonshine, there you go.
We thought it went well with our brand, so we actually opened our distillery in Turlock about 2 months ago as well.
Well, thank you so much for having us, allowing us to do this here today, our first one. So we're never going to forget you guys, and we'll keep drinking Dust Bowl, man.
Awesome. We appreciate you coming down, man. Thank you.
Andrew Cornell. It's been a long time, man.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Fremont Bank and Comcastic days. Right?
Comcastic days. That's right, man. And obviously you like beer.
I like beer.
And you like cybersecurity.
Yeah, I'm a staff, made my ranks through the network. I started as a desktop support guy. And then I just kind of, we did Novell networks and then we started to use Cisco routers, and I was intrigued and learned a lot about networking, and that's kind of my passion right now. And things have evolved. It's, not really a lot of networks stuff without security these days. So it's more of a network security role. We're always looking at ways to mitigate risk and, starting at the network layer, and that's kind of where it all kind of flows through. And, which kind of leads you to, if you're not really looking at it, you're not really seeing. And that's where you kind of need to kind of have that visibility into your network in order to kind of really understand what's going on. And so that's where all the tools come into play, whether it's, using a seam or, NetFlow, all that kind of stuff, but you need to kind of aggregate it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people just kind of take the stance that it might not happen to them, and it doesn't happen until it happens, right?
Yeah.
And what do you do then, right?
yeah, then you're scrambling and then possibly have to shut stuff down and go to backup if you're not willing to pay,
So how do you feel about the whole cyber industry right now, right? I mean, all these breaches, we just had, United Healthcare getting breached, right? I mean, you have some of the biggest names out there getting breached, and they're not spending, a few bucks on cybersecurity. They're spending quite a bit of money on cybersecurity, right?
Right. They all these companies, they have budgets to spend money on cybersecurity, but finding the right tools to do the right thing, I think that's the biggest part, because everybody does IPS. Those are just intrusion prevention.
So how do you prevent something that you don't know about?
That's where you need some kind of behavioral, but you need something that's kind of on those lines. But today is like, firewall stuff goes through a firewall and the logs get sent somewhere. But then that log's got to be reviewed, or it needs to be dumped into something so that know what's going on. You have to build dashboards, and somebody's got to be actively looking at it. So that's where you need a SOC. You need all these things.
What happens when a firewall, endpoint security, all of that is bypassed, right? And you as an IT expert person is not aware that those tools have been breached or bypassed. And now this particular cyber attacker is sitting in this unguarded space, right? Just they're in this dwell time, right? Before they completely impact your network. How do you deal with that?
Because it's inevitable. So you need to have those processes in place to have teams come together and kind of, cyber incident. We need to go through everything, find out the true impacts.
So that's kind of, where I'm wondering, right? So,
and like today, it's like, and the biggest thing is security awareness. And that's the biggest thing is education to your employees or to people of what possibilities are. Like if somebody calls you and you don't know who they are and you're giving them information, or if somebody sends you an email and you're clicking on a link that you don't know who the email's from, you got to be very cautious about what you're actually looking at and clicking on. You got to be very vigilant. So there's got to be a robust training as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, somebody's got to click on something and nobody's going to know. And now somebody's in your network living on the land, right?
Right. Living off the land, just dwelling, just sitting and learning.
And learning information, right?
Right.
You talk about the MITRE framework.
Yeah.
And how, you go, it starts with reconnaissance. So that's where you kind of need to stop it,
Yeah.
Is find out when they're exactly on your network. That's hard today because there's nothing really out there that can detect that somebody's on your network.
Yeah.
And doing something maliciously because it's not normal behavior.
Do you think that the industry and people, experts like yourself, are looking for those tools?
I'm thinking they are, but I think they're not aware of what's out there. Like with the activeSENTINEL that you guys talk about. I don't think there's really anything. You have to have a lot of different tools to kind of probably take care of knowing exactly when somebody's coming through the door on your network.
Which is so interesting to me, right? That, again, these huge companies have 24/7 SOCs and NOCs and a lot of personnel looking at all of these reports, right? And you're still getting breached.
Yeah, it took one person, like I think with the MGM, it was a social engineering method, right?
Yeah. So, the activeSENTINEL solution is that type of tool that you're referring to, right?
Right.
So activeSENTINEL, if you think of M&M, right? And you think about EDRs and you think about firewalls and you think about the perimeter tools, that's the outer shell of that M&M, right?
Yeah.
So when that's broken, we go by the premise that you will get breached, right? So if you hit the activeSENTINEL product, you have been breached. and now we are on alert, right?
Right.
So we realize that there's something going on, and we're looking for behavioral anomalies. That's really what activeSENTINEL does, right?
Yeah.
How would you, as a expert, right, in this field, implement such a tool into your network today?
You know how right now, you know, there's a lot of theft going on in all the retail, right? There's, you know, asset recovery teams. They're just like, well, just let them go. And if you really want somebody to protect your assets, you kind of need somebody in each aisle in your facility watching the aisle, right? Not behind a room or whatever. They just need to be actively strolling up and down and making sure people aren't packing their pants or whatever with product.
Sure.
So actively monitoring your space, you need something that can do that, you know, like you would need something on your network that could actively monitor that. So even if you get a breach because somebody clicks on it, activeSENTINEL is actually seeing a change in the behavior of your network because somebody clicked on that link and said, well, this is not normal behavior.
Yeah.
So that's what it's doing, right?
Yeah. We really are very interested in learning how you can take advantage of the activeSENTINEL piece, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of be like the security guard in a branch, you know, but it'll be a security guard for your network. And so you would need to think at all your locations, looking at your stuff. Like from the demos of the products, you know, you guys do deep learning, machine learning, using AI to detect these anomalies and constantly looking at the behavior of your traffic to identify what's normal.
I think maybe, you know, what we're saying is it's time for a change, right?
Yeah, you need a different approach to our things, you know, because having a SOC and you're looking at logs, you're still seeing breaches out there. You know?
100%.
Yeah.
And it's time to start looking further ahead, right?
Right. And you know, if you can detect it right when they're doing the reconnaissance during that first phase of a MITRE, you know, framework attack, you know, all the better, right? Then they're not in your system, right?
So what beer did you get?
I got Anniversary Triple Dry Hop.
Anniversary Triple Dry Hop.
Therapist.
And it's only 12:30
PM. No.
PM. AM. Cybersecurity and a beer.
Right.
Can it get any better than that?
No.
Cheers.
Cheers.